also start videos like in the middle of conversations just
I
to
know
throw
it
you
makes
off.
us. No, it doesn't throw me off. I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okaeri, everybody. Welcome back to Read This Way, episode 43. It's a little bit of a different one because I'm not here today. Neither is Logan. This is pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded.
But
Something different.
please make sure you leave comments and stuff.
We do read them.
We will probably be in the comments when the video goes live, so we can talk to you there. But yeah, no, I have a health thing yesterday for people watching today. Today for people watching today. I'm in Melbourne at the moment. Oh, I just gave myself a stroke.
Don't do that before the medical appointment. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Let's try and
So for those who don't know, in Japan at the moment, it is Golden Week, and Golden Week is basically a bunch of little public holidays all around the same time. It's like Bon, which is the like this. Is it this summer festival? I never remember.
I don't know, man. All I know is nothing happens for 2 weeks.
One's the one with the it's the Buddhist custom where they honor the spirits of, and they have the little lantern stuff.
Not the penis festival.
No, not the penis one. I can't remember what the penis one is.
I saw it come up in the news recently. Sorry, that's why it sort of struck in my head. I saw a video on it recently.
So it's pretty much from Saturday the 29th of April through to the 5th of May. So they've got Bon, they've got Greenery Day, Children's Day. That's not right. There's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Bon's not
which also means that nobody's working.
Google was lying to me.
Nobody's working.
Children's Day and Greenery Day are one of the two. Then there's like Constitution Memorial Day and Showa Day. And that's literally like our Queen Elizabeth's birthday is Showa Day. It's honoring the birthday of the Emperor Showa, reigning emperor from 1926 to 89. Yeah. So that's basically a whole bunch of public holidays. So there's bugger all going on. Everyone goes on holiday. That's why there's bugger all news. We got one chapter this week. I was surprised we even got Jungshi X. So it was really easy for Brad to catch up this week.
Yeah. Oh, we did. We got a Dan to Dan as well.
We got a bunch on today.
We got a Dan to Dan, and we got a. Did we get a Kaiju 8 in between? Because they release on a funny day.
Oh yeah, I think we got Kaiju last week on Friday. We also got Blue Exorcist today. I think there was something else that dropped, but because it's going to be weird not actually having us talk about Chainsaw Man. Man, how good was that Chainsaw Man chapter today, Logan?
It was off the wall.
Oh man, peak fiction.
Totally fully sick, bruh.
We got Goku Rakugai new chapters. Do it. Shoha Shoten, Sarah for the End, Twin Star Exorcist. So like all of our monthly or quarterly stuff.
Bi-weekly
and the only things that we got on Monday was Spy Family and Jungshi X, which was just weird. I don't know why we got them at all. But anyway,
I reckon they had them in the chamber. They already had them sorted.
Yeah.
So they just
that's the other thing, right? All the leaks for next week's chapters have already hit. So they've got all of them all of them in the chamber ready to go. My Hero Academia, One Piece, Oshinoko. I think that's it, actually. I think that's all that's leaked. Because Jujutsu Kaisen's on hiatus, Black Clover's on hiatus. That may or may not be all that I'm reading non-officially. I've had to stagger my readings, so the leaks are kind of coming in handy, so I can actually read everything before the podcast comes out.
Yep.
Segue. Panicked. The radio silence.
I don't think that's how segue works. Yeah, I think I might have blinked for a little bit extra too long for a second there. Yeah, admittedly, I'm feeling a little bit tired today.
Oh man, this week it's not going to get any better for me.
No, and the past couple of days I've been catching up with all the anime that I've been not watching. So my eyes have been glued to a screen quite a lot lately. So I think I need to rest them.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten a chance to read to watch Cheat Skill, but I know it's going to be awful.
I can tell you about it if you want to.
Yeah, we'll still keep the segment. I'll get angry vicariously because I will, because it's horrible.
And then you'll watch it and then get even more angry.
It's just pure cringe at this point, and it's not even. It's just disappointing. And the thing that makes me so mad about it is because it is so highly rated. I don't understand.
If it was so low, if it was low rated, we wouldn't care so much. But because
it's right behind Oshinoko. What the hell?
It doesn't make sense. But that's for future. Yeah. We will discuss that soon. What do you got for us in the news?
Like nothing.
Nothing. So I reckon everybody's taking the week off. I would say primarily this is because they want to give the printing guys a week off as well, because they're going to shut these factories down and let people have some time off.
We got a PV for a couple of different series. Dan got a PV, which is awesome.
Yeah, so if anybody was wondering what Dan was about, watch the PV. It'll clear it right up.
No. you are such a liar.
It'll make it worse. I watched it and went, even I don't know what's going on here.
The next mangaka up for the Dragon Ball Super Gallery project, where they're redrawing. Well, it's not even really a redrawing of. They're not really redrawing covers. Here, let me find it and bring up the.
They're putting their style on their take on the cover.
Because like you look at this, it's not even. Wait, what the hell? I had it. Why did it just go away?
Do the thing. What are you doing?
Do the thing, Julie.
Oh, I forgot about Julie. I'm saying it. I'm referencing it to something, but I couldn't remember what it was. And
right,
of course, Avatar.
So I mean, it's got the same elements, but they're not.
Oh yeah. They're putting their spin on the cover.
Yeah. So this was the last one that was done by the mangaka, well, the illustrator that does or did Food Wars and now does Tenmaku Cinema.
Yeah, you got that.
I've only read the one chapter still. I need to. I will be catching up on everything on the train ride down to Melbourne tomorrow. Well, today.
Okay. Yes, maybe today. Maybe
I've caught
yesterday.
up on everything today.
Maybe 3 months ago. Who knows?
Oh man. um. So yeah, the next one of that's going to be done by Yuki Tabata, the mangaka for Black Clover.
So I'm guessing they're gonna roll these out into a book form of some kind.
Yeah, I think it's like a commemorative.
Commemorative.
Thank you. Art book similar to like what Oda does, where he collates all of his art spreads, like for his covers.
It's a book of spreads.
Man, have you seen Oda's spreads though?
Only the private ones.
Ooh. What are we?
I don't think I'd want to see that, to be honest.
How many are they up to now? I want to get them, but they're a little bit pricey and harder to kind of order the older ones.
Yeah, I'd imagine they'd kind of be out of print at this point. But that's going off topic.
Yeah, it is. But like, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, you got to reel me in, man.
I am. That's what I'm trying to do. But you're dragging me behind you you're running with the leash.
Look at this. It's just a book full of pretty pictures.
Just lots of pretty pictures.
Little does he know, I've stolen them all. Not from the books.
You don't care.
I've just been taking screenshots of like the cover pages that I like.
Yeah, you got backgrounds everywhere.
I do. I have so many, and some of them don't really work as backgrounds, but I like them that much that
all that matters. It's all that matters.
Yeah. Look, this is how, like the news this week. Jujutsu Kaisen has released a clear file. For those that don't know what a clear file is, I thought I had one in a drawer here, but I don't. It's just a thing that you can store documents in, like a couple of shits of paper.
Yeah. I've seen. Yeah, that's a regular kind of thing that they do.
Oh, I found it. It's buried. No, wait. Never mind. Wait, yep, I found it. Ah. One of these things.
Yeah.
Stop sharing the screen. Wow, this is from like really old. This is Tokyo Otaku mode. They give you your invoice in these clear files.
Yeah.
Or they used to.
They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
To get manufactured. So.
Let me just stuff that back in the drawer. Ah, no. I ruined.
You jammed it.
I've ruined the Tetris. There we go. There's just junk in there. That's my junk drawer.
Well, no, it's your filing drawer, right?
Yeah, I file all my junk away.
You file your crap.
And My Hero Academia stickers. Both of which we won't get.
Yeah, I was about to say, how do we get our hands on this stuff? Because
you be in Japan.
Nah,
you get Jump Giga, man.
I'm hitting up AliExpress, my friend.
Yeah,
I reckon you'll be able to get them on there.
Probably. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
hey, if they don't release them outside of Japan, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like there's not really much in the way of news.
Let's just get straight into the
recommendations.
We're going to do some recommendations.
We're going to do. Well, I mean, we got no weeklies, really.
This is true. This is true.
Unless you want to do the weeklies by going over Jiangxi X, which admittedly was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not letting up on the gas, are they? They're just...
Dude, I got excited. I was like, we called it. The fat kid with the glasses is gonna die.
Yeah, I was... And he was all ready to go, too.
And they bait and switched us.
They did. They had the whole explosion with the eyeball and everything.
Oh man, it is raining outside all of a sudden, really heavily.
Oh, I can't hear it, so it's okay.
It's because I got a really good mic.
Yeah. A really good mic.
A really good mic.
Get in there nice and deep.
Nah, it's too big. I can't fit it in my mouth.
You've said that to me before.
I have. Fuck, you're getting so off topic again. So, I actually watched two. Yeah, the other Helter Skelter was 2012, wasn't it? So that's over
Yeah,
10
something
year
like
old.
that.
Let me just double check. Yeah, 2012. And it's based on a manga from even older than that. And Crying Freeman. Two live action adaptations of like the old properties. And like, I don't know, man.
These are stemming back quite a way because
Crying Freeman was in the 90s.
yeah, look, I remember the Crying Freeman, both the anime and the live action version. I watched the anime before the live action and was really surprised that it was being adapted to live action because of its content.
Yeah.
Because it was an R-rated series, so it was a very adult series at the time. A lot of nudity, a lot of violence, nothing like the movie.
I
The movie
mean, yeah,
is its
nah.
own entity. I just feel like, so it feels like it's a this is my opinion of it, is it was a manga that was converted to an anime, which was bought by an American producer and then given to a Chinese production company to be made in America. So it's about a Japanese story. So everything's been all like squished and mooshed around, and I don't know where this guy's going. Unfortunately, I love the actor. He did a lot of really good martial arts stuff back in the 90s.
Give me a hot second. While we're talking about it,
Yeah, I can't
I
remember.
can look it up.
Yeah, check his name out because he's done some really cool action stuff. He was kind of like he was around when
Oh, he was in John Wick,
Bruce Lee.
Chapter 3.
Oh, was he? I
Yeah.
didn't see him. He must have been a stuntman or something.
Mm.
He probably died somewhere. What's his name? God damn it! He's got like a
Oh,
really plain name.
Mark
Mark
DeCas.
DeCastos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, he'd be clocking a few years now.
Yeah, he's almost in his 60s.
Yeah.
He has something. Oh, he's he plays the role of the chairman in the Iron Chef America, and
Oh,
Iron Chef
that's right. He
Australia,
does too.
and Iron Chef Mexico. In the series backstory, he is the nephew of the original Iron Chef chairman, Takeshi Kaga.
But he's not even Japanese, is he?
No, he's Hawaiian.
Yeah. I was about to say,
I
I'm pretty sure he
mean,
wasn't even Japanese or Chinese. He was, yeah. I mean, he might have heritage
so
in Asia somewhere along the lines, but
his parents originate from the Philippines, and were of Chinese, Filipino, and Spanish ancestry.
he's a
Okay.
real mix. But
However,
look at his
his
younger
mom
photos. Yeah.
his mum has Irish and Japanese ancestry. So there you go.
Oh my god.
He's got it in
He's
there.
got
He's got
Japanese
it
in
in
there.
there.
He's got it in there.
Yeah. He's like a quarter.
But you look at the young photos of him, and he's a gorgeous looking guy.
Oh, he's
He
super
knew how to,
handsome.
yeah, and he knew how to fight, but they didn't know what to do with him at the time. He was in this period of time where action movies were all about being goofy and dumb, or you had to be doing things like Bloodsport, Van Damme stuff, that sort of stuff. Man, he
Oh,
would go
he's also bald
bananas
now, I think.
today. Yeah, probably is. Yeah, he had this long flowing hair most of his youth. So
they're doing a Knights of the Zodiac live action, and he's going to be in that.
Knights of the Zodiac. Why does that sound familiar? You're going to tell me that it's something amazing.
Saint Seiya.
Ah, right. Never got into it.
Yeah. Nah, neither, but
Yeah.
it's huge in like the Americas. Very big with the like
like South America, kind of.
yeah, like the Hispanic population of America.
For some odd reason, that doesn't surprise me. I
don't
feels every time I
remember.
see it, it feels like it's influenced by that particular area of
Like
religious belief and that sort of stuff.
he has been doing stuff
Oh yeah, it's probably been doing little bits and pieces.
off and on here and there, but yeah, nothing really. He was in Agents of Shield.
Yeah, there you go. He has been about.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy that he's
yeah.
been around, but he definitely hasn't been leading man for a long time.
Dude, he was in The Lost Medallion, The Adventures of Billy
Yeah,
Stone. I don't know.
yeah.
It sounds really
It's crazy. It's crazy.
really.
It's good stuff.
Okay.
No. I remember him in what was it? He was in a movie called like Overdrive or something. We're talking like late 90s, maybe even early 2000s. Man, I'm watching you scroll through his list there, and it's huge.
It's yeah. I feel like we've gotten off topic again. What were we talking
Yeah, I know.
about?
We were talking about the crime. We were talking about the crime.
Yeah, we were actually talking about Crime and Freeman. All right. So I
Yeah.
have only seen the live action movie, the Hollywood adaptation. I thought it was really dumb fun. For a 90s movie, it holds up enough. Like it's a B grade action
like
movie.
like any 90s movie, they're all
It
pretty
is what it
horrible.
is. Like like you go into it, oh man, the cinematography is gorgeous.
Well, this is the weird balance of the film, right? Is the story's so campy and the actors are sort of, some are mid and some are actually pretty high tier actors.
Mm.
And then they brought in this like miraculous crew for the fights and for the cinematography and all this sort of stuff. It's it's a weird mix of a movie where you want to kind of not like it, but you do because it feels like they put a lot of effort into it. But it's so.
I was watching it with my partner, and like the whole movie, we were just like, "What do you mean he's going to try and kill her? If he wanted to kill her, he could have just done it then and there." So the whole premise in the movie is that it starts off with the crying Freeman, assassinating a bunch of Yakuza for essentially the equivalent of the Chinese triad, is my understanding.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's not the triad, but it's something equivalent. I can't remember what they called it. Irrelevant. But they're kind of like, oh, we're the good guys, and you're like, oh, yeah, you're basically kidnapping like mind wash people into becoming assassins for you so that you keep your hands clean. Kind of not good guy behavior, but so he murders a bunch of dudes, and this woman is painting on the side of a cliff, and she witnesses it all, and then she backs up and almost falls off the cliff, and he like reaches out his hand and tells her his name, and then disappears. And then like the very next scene is like the father of one of the Yakuza dudes that got murdered being warning the police, and he's all like, the only reason he would tell her his name is if he was gonna kill her. And like, I don't know how they got to that conclusion, because she didn't talk to the police about anything. She was like, she was basically Johnny Tight Lips. She's like, I
Yeah.
ain't seeing nothing. Because she swooned. So she's infatuated with him. Paints a painting of him, and it's so dumb. And then it just rolls from there.
Does he cry though? This is
Yeah, when he kills people.
Yeah, so did he cry after killing the Yakuza?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did he strip off
But
down to his underwear?
he was not naked.
Oh.
However, he breaks into her apartment, which isn't an apartment, it's a goddamn mansion.
Of course.
She's like, my parents were murdered, and nothing to do with the plot at all. My parents were murdered and left me this house. Cool. What did your parents do to leave you a goddamn mansion? Anyway, and you're like, no, answer the goddamn questions. Like, I'm not doing this movie any service, but trust me, it's a fun watch. And they do like the billowing curtains, and she's like, and there's no one there. And then she turns around, and there's the crying Freeman, and he. Oh wait, sorry, they.
You're getting mixed up, man.
I am. I only watched it on Saturday. He burns the painting, and she's all like, "This was actually the other thing that was so stupid. No one's meant to be in their house, right? And the police are like staking out the house for protection. And she goes inside. She's like, no police inside. My parents were murdered inside the house. I don't want any police in there." And you're like, okay, weird.
Was that sudden weird trauma?
It's not explained. Like, there's a couple of things you just have to ignore.
Well, it's typical 90s plot. You know, you don't expect anything.
It's based off a thing that's based off a thing.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, because they're adapting the anime, not the manga.
Yeah.
Which is even worse again.
Well, the manga and anime only takes place in Japan.
Yeah. Whereas this takes place in
it starts in
Seattle or something like that.
It starts in Vancouver, in Canada.
Oh, Vancouver, sorry. Yeah.
The city that never plays itself. Actually plays itself.
For a change. Because I think the production company is Canadian.
Probably, yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff's filmed in Canada. Even Hollywood stuff.
It's cheaper.
So we're in Canada, in this mansion. She's painted this painting of him crying. He mustn't have liked it, so he burns it in the fireplace. The thing that got me there was that shouldn't have anyone have noticed the goddamn smoke coming from the chimney in a house that's meant to be empty?
Don't go pointing out details, man. This movie is not about details.
I know. But that was like the first big one for me. I'm like even over the whole like, oh, he could have murdered her at the time. But anyway.
The cast on this is so good.
Right? And so she then is all like, oh, it's fine, murder me. And he's all like, dang, she's pretty hot. And so like 1 second, like, I'm not even kidding, I was about to make the joke that he was going to strip off nude and they were going to have sex. And before the words left my mouth, hands back over, he's completely naked. Like, there's no transition of him taking the clothes off. It's just boom, nude.
It's because he's a professional killer. He knows what he's doing.
Sure. And so he has a knife because that's what he's going to murder her with, because she's a hot lady. You can't murder her with a gun.
Sure, it's a knife. Where do you put the
Well, that was the joke that I was gonna make as well. Was that, oh, he's gonna shoot his knife, and yeah, then they ended up having sex. I was just like, oh, I can't. Oh, all right.
Oh,
And then
what a dang.
the Yakuza show up, and they were like,
What?
they hear them come in, and the Yakuza
they
took
did.
out the cops because there's a dirty cop. Mind you, this is all the first 10 minutes. And he's still nude, puts the knife in his mouth, climbs up the door. So he's now perched, really high ceilings, by the way, it's a mansion. He's perched on top of the door. And as two of the Yakuza dudes come in, he jumps down, stabs one of them, and then like starts punching the other dude. And so he takes out those guys, and then the main villain of the Yakuza, who's taking over the family, because so convoluted.
Well, that scene's actually from the anime.
Oh, is it?
So that dropping from the ceiling being nude, that's actually from the
Right.
anime. Yeah,
Cool.
so I'd say that's a pretty iconic shot from the manga
Yeah.
as well. So they've used that on purpose.
And then the antagonist shoots up the place. The woman is still in bed, nude as well. She cops a couple of stray bullets. So now Yo doesn't have to kill her. Yo uses one of the bodies as a meat shield.
Nice.
Fires so many shots at this dude. He doesn't die. Like, you think he does.
It's the 90s.
He gets knocked down. He's just constantly firing bullets as well. He's Uzi 9mm.
I mean, the gun that fires this full clip in 5 seconds.
And he's like firing for like a good 5 minutes. But again, not a detail-oriented movie.
No, not at all.
So he ends up winning the fight, and you're like, oh, the guy's dead. So he just seemed like some throwaway villain at the time. Yo's all like, man, that was good sex. I'm not gonna let that die. So he picks her up and brings her into the car, and his handler is all like, bro, you were meant to kill her. What are you doing?
Well, she got shot before I had a chance to kill her, so now I gotta save her so I can kill her. Oh,
and
man, this movie is
yeah,
a train wreck.
he takes her to the hospital. The handlers are like, supposed to kill her. And Yo organizes like a clandestine way of her getting to Japan off the books, fake passport and everything. And it turns out he's just a potter. He just I honestly thought it was going to turn into Ghost, and they were going to get like Patrick Swayze there because of how horny it started. But that's pretty much like no, there is another sex scene later on, which was kind of weird actually. It was like the the wife of the Yakuza boss tries to like blackmail the corrupt police dude, and he's like, well, if you've already got the blackmail evidence, I might as well take my prize. And so it's not really, but it kind of feels a bit rapey because but she wants it, and it's just weird, and
It's a kink.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. But
Maybe.
yeah, it was a fun watch. It was so dumb, but I had so much fun.
To give people an idea, it has on IMDb a rating of 6.4, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, especially for how dodgy the story was.
I think it's just got a hint of kind of nostalgia floating around it. You know,
It's so campy.
It's one of those movies that you just like this. You can definitely put it up there with, you know, with all those early Van Damme, Schwarzenegger kind of films.
You know what it kind of reminded me of?
What?
Escape from New York or Escape from LA. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. Well, the cinematography has probably been influenced by a lot of that sort of stuff.
I love those movies, man. They're so dumb.
He's a brilliant
Escape
director. So.
Oh yeah, they were the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Escape from New
the first
York
one
was
81, and then LA was after. Crying Freeman came out.
Yeah, they had Ray Dawn Chong was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong.
She's the
Chong's
detective.
Daughter. Yeah, she's a detective.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super good with
and Mako.
actors.
You know Mako though, don't you?
I think he was the. I do. Yeah. Oh.
He would have been the oldest guy on the cast.
Yeah, I think he was the. Well, not at the time. I think he was the Yakuza's dad that gets murdered in the first 10 minutes.
Probably.
Yeah, he's Uncle Iroh. I think he did the voice for the original Uncle Iroh.
I think you might be right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, which he.
Oh man, I just got sad.
Was sad. Yeah, so sad because that. Man, I recently read that
episode.
That last episode he does where he knows he's dying, and it's his last episode. It's so hard knowing that.
Well,
yeah,
the episode in and of itself is gorgeous because it's like all from like we're divulging here, but it's my favorite episode of Avatar, and it's anime adjacent. Shut the hell up.
It is. Even if it's written in America and animated in Korea.
It's basically the character is mourning the death of his son from being in the war, but knowing what you like the context of the behind the scenes of the episode, he's kind of mourning his own mortality as well, and it just adds another layer to an already fantastic episode. Like, you don't see the main cast of the series.
Yeah, it's all Iroh, that one.
It's all Iroh. You get a little bit of Zuko, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the episode's called. I think it's like season 2. And it's when they're in the Earth capital. And I've got him singing in my head, and I'm just like getting emotional.
It's when he was in the jail, wasn't he? He'd been captured.
No, he was running the tea house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, the jail's like
it was the way it was. Yeah.
You get shredded.
Man, it's been a hot minute. I need to go back and watch that series again because I watched it a long time ago. Oh, it's been over 16 years since I watched it.
Not so long for me because I had to show someone a couple of years back now, but yeah, because they'd never experienced it, and I was like, how? It's like a generational thing, but still.
It was, but it's also one of those things that people have just got to watch. It's and they got to watch it like at that age point, somewhere between 12 and 18. They need to watch this.
No, it 100% holds up. The person I showed was in their 40s, and they're like, That
Yeah.
was amazing. I'm like, for a kids TV
But
show,
it
like,
hits differently when you're older.
yeah.
So when you watch it when you're younger, you're just like, "Fuck, man, this was peak." You know, this
Yeah.
understands me. This gets where I'm going and what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. And then, you know, when you're in your 40s, you're like, "Man, they put a lot of work into this."
Mm.
and it pulls through really well because the attachments between the characters are so good.
Like, Korra is good, but it can't measure up to the original.
Korra's different. And it's a different good. I loved Korra because it was an astounding piece of work, and it was so different to the original.
I just wish
I mean, it was
Nickelodeon allowed
it
them
was
to do everything that they wanted.
yeah, but I don't think they could have because I have a feeling that they would have went pretty dark, and it is Nickelodeon.
And horny.
Yeah, well, it was
Well,
already pretty horny and pretty dark. If they made it any worse, it would have been heading to freaking Adult Swim, I reckon.
yeah. Which, I mean,
I would have been happy with,
and then we
but they
could have
don't own the
actually
rights
had,
for it.
like,
What they did in the comics.
I've forgotten the girl's name, yeah. Oh, man, I kinda hope that they do, the Last Airbender comics, because those are good.
They are.
Well, they're doing they may be
They're
using,
doing part of it.
it's not gonna be, like it's not gonna be an adaptation of the comics. Well, it's an
Yeah, it has to
adaptation
be because
in the pure sense
the
of
comics
adaptation.
the comics are
It's gonna
canon.
be a rewritten
Written.
story or
Yeah.
reproduced or yeah,
But the
it's
events that
unclear what
happen.
we're actually getting.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder if the writers are involved.
The original, yeah.
Hmm.
They basically have
'Cause
started up
those
Avatar
boys have been busy.
Studios. After they split from the Netflix series, which gives me concern. Um,
Well, I honestly
they
thought they were gonna leave it where it was. I haven't watched the new season of the, Dragon Prince.
Hmm? Oh no,
What?
Dragon Prince wasn't them. Dragon
No.
Prince
'Cause what?
was no, it was one of the writers from, not one of the
Avatar.
creators of Avatar though. It was just one of the
Yeah,
writers.
yeah, it was.
I'm
Well, aren't the
fairly
writers the
certain.
creators?
No,
There's
because
2
they had
guys, wasn't there?
they had a team of writers.
Yeah, but the 2 creators oh, sure. I'm looking this up,
Yes,
man.
the two
I'm looking
creators
this
did
up.
do writing.
That's what I
I
mean, right?
I'm pretty certain that you're wrong.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time, would it now? I think it was, Konietzko, right?
What are you looking up so I
Brian
can look up the other thing?
Brian Konietzko? I think he's the one that did the,
Dragon Prince.
oh, you're going back the other way. I'm going oh, man. Oh, these boys did all the comics too. Or did they?
Did they?
Are
You're telling
you
the
having
story.
what? Man, there's more than one person called Brian Konietzko floating around. Um, oh, he was an art director for Invader Zim. How about that?
Oh, that's cool. All right, so you've got the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender are Michael DiMartino and Brian Connie. the one that you said.
Kanitsuko. Yeah. Yep.
But the creators of Dragon Prince are Aaron Has. I probably butchered that, and Justin Richmond, who both worked on The Last Airbender. So
Man, they pitched that so differently.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's confusing as
100%.
hell. Like, I'm just like,
So
at least one of the two guys is working on this.
no, he was one of the head writers for Avatar, though.
Which is why it felt so similar.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay. Cool.
not even
I was wrong. You were right.
I know.
You know, isn't that great? Yeah, soak it up. Soak it up. No.
Oh man.
Delicious, hey?
Yeah.
Right. Well, they were your two recommendations. Did you want to talk about your soft core, or you want to?
Yeah, I didn't even get to
Helter
talk
Skelter?
about. So Helter Skelter. We're jumping from like the 90s to 2012. The manga for it was early 2000s, and the mangaka is actually accredited to starting the gyaru trend in Japan, which is pretty cool. It focuses around the live action doesn't really do it as a horror. It's more of like a psychological
Thriller.
drama. Not even
I guess
a
drama. Yeah, because it's like what actually happens.
Well, so it focuses on a model in Japan who's had so much plastic surgery. The only parts, and I quote by her manager in the movie at least, the only parts of her that are still her are her eyes, her ears, and the bits that make her a lady that aren't her boobs.
The bearded clam.
And it's kind of focuses on the immense pressure that people in this industry go through, having to live up to the beauty standards and the turnover of the industry, and a lot of that sort of focus point. It kind of feels like this could have inspired Oshinoko, but Oshinoko has gone in a bit of a different direction.
It may have initially inspired it.
Yeah. It's a weird series, man. Well, it's a weird movie. It goes for 2 hours. I knew next to nothing going into it. I watched it with the partner. She was like, "Oh, I really want to watch this. I've heard it's good." She watched a review on it first. I don't know why you do that, but
Yeah, people do that. It's weird, right?
like, so she knew the main beats of the story and what was going to happen. We started up within the first 10 minutes. There's basically softcore porn, and I'm like, I slowly turn and look. I'm like, what's all this then? And then it just keeps going. Like, there's so much sex in the start of the movie, and then it's like not even a thing. And then it goes hard into like the psychological trauma. It deals a lot with the whole stem cell research of the early 2000s.
Oh, nice.
And like the oh, you're using ground up baby fetuses. You know, that whole,
what else are you meant to use them for?
Like, that's not it's not what they were. Like, it's
I know.
No, I know, but it's just like, it took me back to that time, and I remember being like, even back then, like, that's not what it is. Like, I'm a child. How do you grown-ass adults not know?
It always reminds me of that South Park episode with
Yes,
Christopher
it is
Lee.
it is the same. Yes, 100%. And so, like, she goes to a beauty clinic that's using, it's kind of unclear because it kind of seems like they're using body parts of other people and organs, like real black market sort of shit. But then they also mention like stem cell research, and the only stuff you actually see is like a facelift. It's weird, and but
yeah.
basically what's happening to her is she's having necrosis of the skin because of all the implants and stuff that she's got going on. So it's used as a metaphor for her aging and being highly replaceable in the industry. Except it just looks like she's got bruises, or like her skin's starting to deteriorate. It's
Fall
weird.
off. Yeah.
Well, not even like it doesn't go very gruesome at all. Like, if they had of, it would have felt more horror, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's more of like a psychological thriller drama.
More drama
Um,
than thriller, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you just watch this girl kind of spiral. The She is like the top model in Japan, so she, like, all of that ego is gone to her. She thinks she's bigger than everyone, so she uses people as ironically that, like, they're disposable. And the B plot to the movie is a prosecutor's office, except the lead prosecutor, because they're going after the beauty company, right? Or the beauty clinic. And he is like 100% moonlights as like this poetic genius. And I'm just like, man, he ends up like leaking documents to her on purpose because he knows that she will then leak them, so then the investigation can kind of go forward, but he ends up getting suspended, and I'm all like, it's fine. You can just moonlight, do his poetic shit. And it's filmed really well. There's some really cool cinematography.
Production looked really nice from what I saw.
Production wise, it feels like you're watching like a crime investigation almost.
Yeah.
Like it switches between because there's like interview sections where it'll cut to the future and these people are being interviewed, and you're like, oh, is she dead? Are we investigating her murder? Um
So there's a little bit of
because
mystery in there.
a lot of women who, well, it seemed to be every other woman that goes to this beauty clinic ends up dead. So like that was the whole premise. Yeah. Well, if you can't afford to keep paying for the extremely expensive treatments and the immunosuppressant drugs, basically what you get put on when you have like a transplant, so that your body doesn't reject it, all of that sort of stuff. So it kind of is of its time, but it's like it's 11-year-old movie now, but it didn't really feel like it was that old.
No, it looks current.
Hmm.
But the topics, I guess, are topical of the time.
I mean, the only thing that would really tip you off would be the whole stem cell stuff, because that felt very topical of the era. But I mean, apart from that, it it's still pretty relevant. And like I could 100% see a reboot of sorts with the popularity of Oshinoko. They very
It'd be
like
nice if they pushed into the horror a bit more, though,
yeah, yeah.
provided the
Um,
source material went in that
it
direction.
also kind of gave me Perfect Blue,
Yeah,
like Perfect Blue vibes. Yeah, Perfect Blue's the one, the Satoshi Kon film.
yeah.
She an actress? Is that one?
She's an idol first, and then
That's the one. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's another story about the industry getting toxic after a career change or a
Mm.
shift in dynamics. So
It
it's
kind of
man,
falls in that genre of like holding a mirror up to the entertainment industry of Japan.
yeah, and not just that, but the people that surround it too.
Mm,
I mean, there are
yeah.
certain people that you're like, just chill.
Well, they do touch onto that in Helter Skelter. It was really funny because like it was maybe an hour in. Uh, the prosecutor says Helter Skelter. I'm like, oh, that's it. Credits roll, right? I'm like, we still got another hour.
Dang.
But it cuts to Shibuya, like the Shibuya crossing, and specifically that McDonald's, the two-story one. If you know, you know.
You know the one. You know the one.
It's in everything.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a bunch of high school girls sitting around eating their little McDonald's, talking about the models, and it happens maybe 3 times in the movie, and it does come out that she has had all this work done and whatnot, and you see the public's opinion shift, and it goes from being like complete adoration to being like, well, she just cheated, and us as the audience know what she's going through, and it's no cakewalk. Like, yeah, she's gone through a whole bunch of surgeries to cheat or shortcut it, but
But is it it's
it's just
not
a different
shortcutting it.
kind.
She's pushed
No,
herself to the point of what everybody wants.
yeah,
It's a matter of bringing yourself up to the standards of what they perceive you need to be.
yeah. So it's like
Doesn't matter
it's a
which way you
shortcut
go.
in one
Yeah.
aspect, but it's like detriment to her mental state as well as her body because she ends up kind of falling apart
Hmm.
almost. So it's a if you can track it down, it's a good watch. Um, Even if it's just like a little time capsule that nothing's changed because Oshinoko.
Yeah, that's right. The industry hasn't changed and the world hasn't changed. We just keep going around in circles, don't we? We just got more technology these days, more
Yeah,
discreet ways of killing people.
well, it never changes. Neither does the
Yeah.
entertainment industry.
Yeah, got to keep feeding it.
But yeah, those are my fun little recommendations of old properties that I unearthed. Man, crying
Good
freeze is
work, by the way. I mean, they're worthy watches, I guess,
mm.
to get in the repertoire.
What did we? I'll quickly check Helter Skelter's IMDb. It's sitting at 6.4 as well.
There you go. So they're doing okay.
Yeah, just
As
above
weird as they are.
average.
You call it an art house flick, wouldn't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes.
This is not a regular production.
A 2-hour outhouse, high production value though.
Yeah, like the design work and the set design and stuff. It looked real nice.
100% there would be like stuff in there that will be shot for shot to the manga.
Yeah.
Like it starts off with the unveiling, which is basically her completely wrapped in bandages, just unwrapping herself essentially, unveiling herself to the world, as it
Not
were.
maniacally laughing.
It's really,
Sorry, that was a Jack Nicholson reference.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's kind of creepy in how emotionless and void it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Because
it's a
she's like a
representation
doll.
of yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what they wanted to be.
yeah, pretty much.
Man, I didn't have any cool discoveries this week.
What were you
I
watching
will
though?
well, I was just catching up on all the regular stuff.
Oh, you
So
got to watch
oh,
uh
yeah, so
To Your
I
Eternity.
yeah, I started watching To Your Eternity, which was a funny little surprise. So I actually discovered it. I didn't know anything about it. I discovered it through Sakuga on
Oh, really?
Twitter. Yeah, on Twitter. I'm just like, oh man, this animation's unreal. This looks great as hell. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? And I tracked it down, and apparently it's a really popular series that everybody's been
Yeah.
watching. Uh,
Uh, it
and
it
I
was
have
it was
completely missed it.
it's pretty heavy on the emotional side of things, right?
It is. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's like cross lifetimes kind of journey. So it's not just you're experiencing one character. They do a situation and they carry on. It's like every few episodes, it's almost a completely new cast of people.
Because the mortal rock, right?
Yeah, a sphere. He's an immortal sphere that evolves and adapts and creates memories as it plods along as
Um,
a solution
I
for something.
the first reason I didn't watch it when it came out was like, I'm going to wait until it's all out and then I'll binge it. And then I started hearing a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people being all like, maybe just make sure you're in a good mental space. And I was like, I'm not.
It's
and and then I forgot about it.
yeah.
So
It's I mean, I haven't found myself getting attached to any particular characters in any serious ways yet.
yeah.
So unless they're talking about later in the season, but I mean, I love the emotional detachment that the character has initially,
Mm.
the way that they go from being like the mental capacity of an animal in a human's body to being a human that has the intelligence level and knowledge of like a 4-year-old, and you just sort of watch them peg their way up the chain with some people helping them and other people not. And it's an interesting little journey. I do like it's very fantasy, and the action is phenomenal. Really beautiful animation work. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Other series that I caught up with was Yamada Kun to
That
level
is
999.
that is on my list. I need to see that.
So I've been watching it and it's so cute
It looks
and
kind of
fun.
like it hits the similar sort of vibes as like what's it bloody called again? Horimiya?
All those, pretty much all the whimsical romance comedies that are floating around at the moment that have real pretty animation.
But there's a
I-
bar though,
It's
right?
a yeah, it's not spectacular. Like it's not a phenomenal series. It's not groundbreaking. Some of the animation is kind of pissing me off a little bit because they're using a lot of 3D background work, and what my perspective on that. And they've used like 3D mapping for some of the textures. So in the 2D animation, they've put this 3D sort of mapping movement system in there, and it just makes me feel really uncomfortable. But besides that, the characters are a bunch of fun. The plot's really predictable. You might find a little bit of attachment to this character because I think the MC has autism.
Yamada, right? Not
And
or both.
So no, Yamada definitely. And you'll know what I mean because the way he reacts to other people and he doesn't know how to read other people. I get that there's a class of MCs and romantic interests that are meant to be like this and they're designed like this, but every time I see them, I'm just like, this guy's just
Spectrum.
got autism.
Spectrum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Neurodivergent. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't grasp this whole social structure and the way it works. So
Can
he's a
relate.
very interesting, yeah, he's a very interesting character to watch because you can see the cogs turning as he's trying to comprehend what's actually rolling out in front of him. So he
Mm.
understands some things because he can piece them together, but he can't do that with people's emotions. He can only do it with
Why are
stuff
you
that's
being
presented.
irrational?
Well, there's this scene in it where um this young girl who's in love with him that's like 5 years under his age. So she's like completely adored with him. And she sets up this other girl to go on a like a friendship date. So they're going to go out and hang out. So this girl and this other girl are going to hang out together to get to know each other better. But she
Right.
actually tricks her to go
Oh,
and do a thing. Okay, so she tricks her, but
the old bait
Yamada
and switch.
Yamada picks up on everything because he sees all the little details and he pieces them all together. But because he doesn't know how to emotionally convey that, he just picks up and walks out.
He's like, "Hey, peace."
Yeah, he's just like picks up and goes, "We're going," and it just walks out to go see the girl that's been left ditched. So he's so far on. You can tell that whoever's written this is on the spectrum somewhere, or they've
Some
lived
form of
with someone who's on.
neurodivergent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not even like. I mean, they sort of hint at it now and then. Some of the characters like, "Oh, you really don't know how this works, do you?" And I'm like, "No, no, he doesn't." So it's interesting. I'm going to keep watching it through the season because I do enjoy a bit of romantic whimsy, provided that the animation keeps up more like the first few episodes as opposed to the more recent ones. So we'll see. We will see.
Uh,
Rokadu's girls, man, it is so much fun.
I still only seen the first one.
The first episode, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
It's like it's so
So dumb.
campy, and it is such a time capsule of that period where you know we're talking like late 90s shonen, early 2000s shonen, where you had those gang wars inside the schools and there was ranking systems and all that sort of stuff. It just plays so heavily into that. And the way the main character, because he's a nerd and he doesn't really he's not he's not on anybody's level. Like he can't even punch his way out of a wet paper bag. We established that quite early on. But he does all these like really rousing speeches about you have to fight for what you want and all this sort of stuff. And the great thing is that his two friends like get right into it and they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And everybody else in the scene is just standing there going, what's going on right now? And there's three guys just yelling at each other in the middle of like this massive fight scene, and just like everybody's just stopped to witness this pure insanity that's happening in the middle, and nobody else even takes them seriously whatsoever. It just gets washed over, and then everybody continues on doing what they're doing, and it's just so much fun that the way they throw all these tropes in there. And just watch it. It's fun. It's good.
Sorry, I just quickly
Stupid.
Googled to see what people were talking about with Yamada. And the first thing I saw after I did a quick Google was, oh, hang on, I lost it. I like Yamada. He's got that autistic boy swag. I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's also another one where they've got like the background characters and stuff like, oh, he's really hot as he's walking past. Do they do that? Is this a normal thing in Japan that people just like stare at other people when they're attractive? It's just It
I
seems to be
mean,
quite regular
I,
in a lot of
I,
anime
f-
recently.
I feel like if we go to Japan, we're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, so we'll experience that anyway.
Yeah, but we'll just look like or I'll look like a monster. You'll just look like a weird European guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, look at that weeb." I'll be like, have my top knot, my beard, and they're like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Oh,
they'll see you from a mile away.
otaku."
No, 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 no. The correct
Probably
term is weeb.
also probably because I'd be in Akihabara.
Yes, and you'd have a backpack with a poster sticking out of it. That's
and a flag.
need glasses with little circles inside them. Uh, it would be great.
I do
I'd be
have
there for it.
glasses. I just don't have the swirlies.
Yeah, you need the swirls.
I think it's
What
time,
else? What
Logan.
else? Yeah, okay. Let's we'll open up. We'll open up that evil door that we've been walking through each week.
Yep.
Cheat
But
skill.
you have to
Cheat skill
tell
I
me
got in
about it.
another world.
Tell me about the
Okay.
trash.
Let's start from the start.
All right.
He's about to head into the other world. So he's about to head out. And then
Oh,
he's like,
because it's Golden Week. I forgot.
Maybe. Yeah, he's got the week off.
Yeah,
So
that's why because he has to go meet the king, and it's gonna take a while to get there. And he's all like, "Oh, in the last episode, I'll schedule it for Golden Week."
Yeah, well, it's not Golden Week. It's not. It's not the Golden Week part. No.
Huh?
No.
Oh, so
it's
he
got
hasn't.
nothing to do
He's
with
not
the king.
going to meet the king yet.
No, he's not going to meet the king. So he goes back to the other world just to do a bit of, bit of looking around. Because he remembers how the military guy told him that he's living in the middle of the cursed forest. That's the worst forest in the world, and it's the place where all the monsters hide.
So
So
he's
he's
in the
like,
late game
okay,
area.
yeah. So he's already in the elite end of the game, and he's like,
he's in post game.
he's actually playing the plus version.
He's New Game Plus in
New Game Plus, starting at the end, working backwards. So he goes into the new, into the next world, being all cautious in his
Why?
invisibility mode.
Why?
No, wait.
Okay.
You and I know this. We know this. So he goes into the other world, and he's like plodding around in his little invisible spell suit, and sees this little puppy being destroyed by this giant orc thing, and he's like, oh my god, it's a little puppy, and I gotta save it, but I don't know what to do because the orc's level 200, and it's the best in the world, and I can't do anything because I'm low. And he's like, but I gotta do something. So he pulls out his spear, and he throws his spear, and he runs toward it with his
Is
sword.
that the one
and
that
he's
never
like,
misses?
yeah. That spear that kills everything and never misses. That one. Anyway, so and then he gets there, and he's got his sword out, and he's ready to fight it. And then he notices that the spear has donutted the monster, of course, and it starts to disappear. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen. I'm just like,
why?
You've done it. You've done it 4 times already with the exact same spear. Why is this surprising to you? And he's like,
he's a
oh,
dumbass.
and it's like a solid 15 seconds of him being surprised, which I coincided with so much cringe and almost vomiting in my mouth as I continued to watch. And then he, of course, turns around and looks at the puppy and does his little analyzey thing, and it's got all these skills and stuff. And he's like, oh, what am I going to do with this? It's about to die. So he heals it, and it becomes his best friend and understands everything he's saying. So what do you do with an evil demon puppy that you found in the other world?
Bring it home.
Yeah, you do.
To the other world.
So you bring it back to the real world.
So stupid.
Anyway,
okay. Yeah.
So he's brought it back to the other world. And he's like, oh, you stay in my house, puppy, while I go to school.
Sure.
Leaves Demon Dog in his house while he goes to school.
Why not?
and gets to school, and he's all like, "Oh, I got a new dog, and I need to go and buy stuff." And his friends are like, "Oh, I've got other things on at the moment." And the girl's like, "Oh," the girl's like, "Oh, I don't have anything on, so maybe I can go with you." And it's so hard to watch the way these characters interact. And
I don't
the
know
other
if I want to watch the episode.
the other thing, so no, you need to watch it because you need to see what I'm talking about. Oh my god, I didn't mention all the 3D work at the start. 1 second. So when they're in the forest, right? Anytime he's in his full gear and it's not a shot from his shoulders upwards, it's a 3D model.
Okay.
And it's not even cell shaded, it's just block colored. Like it's just one color on that area, and then they let that. It is so out of place and looks so disgusting and amateurish. Oh my god, it hurt every time I saw it. It's just the big chunks of 3D animation and parallaxed 3-layer backgrounds, and scenes where characters are talking, but it's a repeat of 14 frames over a 30-second period that they run backwards and forwards to make the character talk. You need to watch it because you got to watch this. It is hilarious. There's some scenes where there's actually decent animation because the animators might have had half a day to work on something, and they've done a good job of it.
Oh, yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Ew.
you see it. How much does it stand out? And it's not like it's not even aliased. It's like it's not even anti-aliased. It's like all jaggy and low poly. It looks gross.
It's so noticeable.
Yeah. There's a shot where it's his like face on as well.
I'm seeing
it's
him
like
from
late
behind
90s.
after he kills the orc.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just
and
whoa,
he's like,
highlight.
"Oh, I'm so embarrassed."
It's so terrible. Anyway, he goes to the shops and he picks up some like collars.
I mean,
and leashes
at least he
shit.
has the realization that he was an idiot about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a nice change.
Oh, I killed the Urger at level 1. I suppose I shouldn't be so surprised. Yeah, no shit.
I might have tuned out a few times in this episode as well, but the call of social media just seems to be a lot more appealing at the moment. So he gets a leash and he takes the dog for a walk, right? Demon dog, let's take it for a walk. And as per usual, he's walking down the park, and what's everybody do?
Sorry. It's a black Fenrir.
Yeah. Oh yeah, super original.
And it's
look what he calls it.
And it's level 500?
Yeah.
How is it? Look at those stats. How is it being okay.
Anyway.
Sorry, continue.
So he's walking through the park. Everybody's fucking staring at him again because, every time he goes outside, you got to feel uncomfortable. And they're like saying hi to him because he's walking a dog and they're walking a dog. And he's like, "Oh, everybody's so friendly today." And then he ends up running into one of the girls from the school, of course, because, got to do that. And they're like, "Oh, what kind of breed is it?" And he's like, "I don't really know." By the way, just quickly watch just after he like befriends the dog, he names it. The most like he goes through a process of about 20 seconds of thinking about what to name it, and then he's like, "Oh, it's black. Let's call it Night." Anyway, yep, super original. And anyway, he's in the park with the girl, and they're like, "Hey, I have all this awkward conversation," and man, did I tune out? Like they talked about something, but I can't remember what it was. It was really irrelevant.
That is a cute dog, though.
Yeah, it's a super cute dog. Don't get me wrong. I did say that. I said it's a cute puppy. And
Oh no! Now there's 2 girls.
yeah, and then the second girl turns up, and all the crowd's going, "Oh, now there's 2 hot girls talking to the hot guy who has a really cute puppy. I can't take this." Shut the fuck up. And anyway, the model comes over. She
Oh, it's
turns
the
up, and she's
model.
like, "Oh, hey, you from around this area?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm from around this area." And we can see each other while we're out walking. Blah 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 blah. And then she walks away, and the other girl's like, "Oh, you could totally date a hot model like that." And he's like, "No, I couldn't." And then
Just and then
they went. Oh, that's right. They went home. Like, that was a whole non-event.
no, dude. What about the purse snatcher?
Oh, see, I told you I tuned out. There was a purse snatcher. It's just so generic that I'm just like, oh my god, my whole brain is just. I'm watching it, but I'm not. And
My
there's
bag
the
was
good
stolen.
old purse snatch turns up. Man, this scene is hilarious because the purse snatch is running away, and then the dog goes and catches him and drags him back. Puppy-sized dog. This thing is barely even 30 centimeters tall, and it's dragging a full-grown man back, and nobody's questioning this.
Cool. Now he's gonna stab
And
the girl.
then, yeah, he pulls out a knife, and he's like, "Oh, random bystander, I'm just gonna stab you." Which just doesn't make sense. The dude's a purse snatcher. Why would he stab someone? He's snatching a purse. This doesn't make sense. And of course, he catches his arm mid grab. And if you watch the animation during that period where he catches his arm and then twists it, just watch where that guy's elbow goes, because it's not right. It's like he twists him to a freaking pretzel while he. Yeah. No, it's not right, is it?
I mean, it's less the elbow, more the shoulder, but
it's a weird angle, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look. I mean, what was the quote from that animation thing I showed you before? Anything can bend that way if you try hard enough.
Yes.
Sorry,
I guess. I mean, they are 2-dimensional, right? Yeah, so they catch the purse snatcher.
Only sometimes.
And then he goes home. Everybody's happy.
Except for us.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, it's still going. We're only halfway through the episode, right? So we then go back into the other world, and we start killing monsters together with night. It is night, right?
Oh, ew, yeah. No, I just saw the front on 3D. I mean,
it's ghastly. It's ghastly, man. It's so. I mean, bad.
Okay, it's not as bad as some of the 3D that's been going on this season. That goes to another series, but it's still pretty bad.
I would put this on par with that really weird Berserk reboot that they did. Do you remember that? The 3D Berserk reboot?
Hang on. Why is Knight now winning against the same thing that was beating the crap out of it before?
Shh. It's okay. Just ignore the details.
I can't. Crying Freeman was good.
It was so good compared to this. And that was a crappy 90s film. So so they run around and they beat up some deer that has different antlers. I don't know why they decided to kill that thing. They were just like, there it is, we're gonna kill it. And I just feel like they're randomly running around killing stuff. And then he gets some portable freaking hot tub from the deer. He gets a rare drop. It's a portable hot tub, so he can go and have a hot tub with a group of girls at any stage of the game. Sounds good to me.
Why?
Because you can. Because that's how it works, isn't it?
Have you seen the the shorts for Kamikatsu? I think it is. Hang on, let me just bring up the anime. I can't. I have to find some still images, which that'll do it. Yep, that is perfect. I was thinking, I'm like, it won't show it to its like its truest ugliness, but what is that? This ugly
Yeah, no, I see
monstrosity.
it, man. I see it, man. I'm just kind of speechless. Like, is this a comedy
another
series,
one.
right? Is this a comedy series? Is this meant to be funny?
Yeah, this is working for a god in a godless world. So it's an
Yeah,
isekai.
but this character's meant to be like that.
Is it?
It looks like a video game graphic.
It from like PS2.
Yeah. I feel like it's done on purpose.
What is this?
I mean, it's too in your face.
It's
I feel like
so
this is done on
ugly. Oh,
it's
I
different
feel
when
like
you lean into it, though. It's different if they're leaning into it. Because if that's meant to be butt ugly like that and just look so stupid, I think it's intentional bad, because looking at the rest of it doesn't look too bad. What studio is it? What's the studio?
Don't know actually. Maybe we should look at this one as well. Studio is, how does it have a 4.5 I haven't seen it, so I can't.
It's got 7.4 on IMDb.
4.45 out of 5.
Yeah, so it must be a good series, but
on Mal it's 6.8 out of 10. So
which still isn't that bad.
Where is the studio? I mean, it's just
Studio
above average.
Palette.
Oh, you already got it? You already said it?
Well, I'm almost there. Oh, look at that. My Hero.
I haven't done.
Fate Stay Night. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm only seeing 4
Yu Yu
series.
Hakusho. Sorted by popularity. Sorted by popularity, and Kamikatsu is at the top, going above My Hero Academia. So they've done a lot of work. This is intentional. That 3D animation is intentional. I'm going to watch this series.
You reckon they're trolling?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Looking at the rest of the animation work in it, I think that will be the only character in the entire show that looks like that.
It looks so bad, man.
Yeah. I'm fine if they're gonna. I'm fine with it if they're gonna lean into it like that and make it intentionally bad.
No, I don't know.
When they're trying to pull it off as something that looks cool, nah, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna spot it from a goddamn mile away, and I'm gonna go, take that out right now.
Is that actually from the series? No way. No way.
Come on, what have you got?
No,
what do you got?
That's got to be. I don't think that this is part of the series. I think this is just someone making a meme. I hope.
Oh my god! Cheat Skill in Another World has still got 7.2 on IMDb.
Well, actually, no. Okay. Even in saying that, Cheat Skill still looks better than X-Arm.
X-Arm?
Yeah, did you not see it? It was atrocious, man.
Yeah, wasn't it full 3D though? Yeah, I reckon I saw about 10 seconds of that.
Oh, it's
because like
horrendous.
the poster for it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was awful.
2.9 out of 10 on Mal, 1.8 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, 1.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah, it was a bit stinky. Apparently it's still.
I don't understand why this is. Nobody likes this thing. I haven't seen like a solidly good review on Cheat Skill, but it's rated so high everywhere.
The review, there's good reviews on Crunchyroll for it.
What is wrong with Crunchyroll, people?
I don't know, man.
Maybe I'm gonna have to check out these Crunchyroll people and just bring them down a few pegs. Set
We'll
up
we'll jump
a
we'll jump
set
in
up
the
a
comment
troll account.
section. Nah, no, don't even set up a troll account. Actively make them know that you're on this podcast. Make them come here and fight us.
Come on, guys, fight us! Lousy, lousy anime.
Oh, it's so stinky.
Before we go, I want to do a little shout out to something else I discovered, but I know it's been running for a little while. Is Monkey Peak.
Oh, yeah, you had the manga that you showed me.
Yeah. I started talking to you about. Now I've had to read this one on the high seas with Luffy because there's no English adaptation, but it is 112 chapters deep. So
Oh yeah,
it's
so
been going for a little bit.
2 years roughly.
2 years, yeah. Now
About.
it's a pretty hectic seinen horror series about a group of corporate. It's a corporate getaway. So it's this
Oh, so it's like a
pharmaceutical
retreat.
company. Yeah, this
Yeah.
pharmaceutical company has had a big issue in the company, and they want everybody to start working together. So they take everyone from the company on a big retreat, which is essentially just climbing up a mountain. They're just climbing up a mountain, and it starts out pretty damn typical. You know, it's a group of people that don't necessarily get along with each other, climbing up a mountain together. And, you know, some people are having trouble with dealing with all the height and the rough outdoors and walking long areas and stuff. You get a general gauge of who which characters. You know, this one's the comedy relief, this one's the one that's scared of everything, this one's the bossy one. So you get that sort of guide with each of the characters. And I'm like, this is going to be cool, slow burn, suspenseful kind of series. I was kind of looking forward to that. And then 3 pages before the end of the first chapter, there is an enormous monster in their camp with a machete that has butchered like 15 people, and there are bodies and limbs everywhere. And then it finishes. The first chapter finishes. So I'm just like, whoa. And the art's like real detailed and pretty intense. And I can tell this is going to be one of those real slasher style environments where these people are going to try and escape this
Yeah.
hellish monster for the next 24 hours or however many hours it takes for the sun to come back up, because they don't know where the hell they are. They're out in the middle of nowhere. And they're up a mountain. So it's gonna. I'm pretty keen to get stuck into it because I haven't had a really solid horror story for a little while. And between that one and the Shibutan,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Shibitarian.
Shibutarian. I'm gonna be enjoying myself with horror for the next coming months, I think. So
There was
yeah.
I was the reason I started like silently losing my mind laughing when you were talking about it was I remembered that a week ago I started reading just the dumbest horniest manga that I've seen in a long time. And I was trying to remember what this other manga that I read on Crunchyroll was, that was like, it was like similar to like Kiss X Sis or something. that what it was called?
Jesus Christ, man. That's borderline.
Yeah. Oh man, it was. It's like almost hentai.
Yeah, so we're on, Kiss X Sis or
Was it Kiss X? I think it was Kiss X Sis. It gave me similar vibes to that. Wait, was it that?
You've been reading that. You've been reading that.
No, not Kiss X Sis.
Yeah.
What I was reading, I didn't even get through the first chapter. I was just it. See, and this is the thing, right? It was as edgy and dumb as Cheat Skill, but it lent into it, and it was funny. It's called 2.5 Dimensional Seduction.
I'm already there, my man.
It's the story of a manga club president who cares only about two-dimensional women. Absolutely no interest in 3D girls whatsoever, and a underclassman. So he's the only one left in the manga club after his upperclassman graduated. So he's like, yeah, we'll try and get some new members, I guess, but like this is my sanctuary, and it's like pure etchy in there. Like it's when this 3D girl underclassman comes in, practically like the female version of him, like obsessed with the same character, wants to be her. She starts looking at some of the figurines, and he's like, huh, "This will be it. This will turn her off." And the clothes just pop off the figurine magically, and she's sitting there and she's all blank faced, and he's all like, haha, just as I planned. And you're like, what? And then she's like, I've seen better. Like, it's pretty generic. She's got like white panties. Like, they couldn't even like splash to give her the striped panties. And he's like, what? Turns out, she when she but before she joined the school, would walk past the classroom that he would be using to watch the anime that they both like, and kind of formed this one-way connection with him where she was like, oh, my people. And basically she want it's hornier dress up darling.
With nerdier people.
So she's all like, I want to do Ero cosplay, and I need a photographer, and I could get that online, but I'd prefer someone who has the same passion as me. So you. And I completely forgot that I started reading it, and it was just, man, it was something else.
It was fun though. It lent into the whole idea of comedy.
So dumb. Oh, it was so dumb, and it was just like, are you serious? But yeah. So that was, if you're horny and want to read something really dumb. What was I? What did I say it was called again? 2.5 Dimensional Seduction.
Yeah. Okay.
There's 90 chapters of it so far.
Wow, that's a solid run so far.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, let me quickly just check. Is it ended? Nah, that's 100% still ongoing.
Nice.
Yep. Like the art's nice.
Well, better be.
Wouldn't
still be running if it wasn't.
Yeah. And I mean, it's pretty much what it's selling on, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you find a non-horny page that looks nice?
Yeah, that's what I'm. Google Images should be fine. Just scanning.
Just turn.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
switch your your
Safe
sensitivity
search. Nah,
down.
safe
Yeah, your
safe
safe
search is
search.
already on. Always on. What are you talking about? I'm a good boy.
You've got a different computer for that.
Yeah, it's called my phone. So like this is her, this is the girl, this is the character. Um yeah, as you can kind of see over here that it's like that's the volume 1 cover. I'm not going to
Yeah,
click on it and make it any bigger because I don't, it's borderline. I don't know. I feel like,
it's pretty showy.
yeah,
You don't want to scroll down either, do you?
no. I can now. Hang on, let me quickly scroll down and see if it was a good idea not to. Uh oh, that's just straight up porn.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's turned off the safe search now.
Oh man.
Righto, man.
I think
We've hit
that's
the
gonna be
140.
that's our short episode.
I know. This is our short. This is terrible.
Yeah, we can't.
No. Once we start going, man, can't stop.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. But I hope you all enjoy this episode, even though it's a bit different to what we usually do in terms of having no news, having no weeklies, and not being live.
Just having random stuff.
um,
There's nothing wrong with that. I guess
this is
once in a while.
we'll call this the Golden Week episode.
Yep. Yep. Sounds good.
Make sure to, to like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Share us around, put us in the background. Oh, we should make playlist for the show.
You're a playlist. Man, that didn't work. I was gonna call you a playlist, and then
I can be your playlist.
You are my playlist.
All right, this is getting
Sing me to sleep.